everybody, Mntdewmania here, and welcome to Friday. As you know, Friday is a rant day, and this will be a very quiet rant, um, because first of all, it's 10 o'clock at night, and hubby Doo, as the tryhards call my husband, is in bed. He has to get up at 3 in the morning to go to work, so I'm trying to be quiet. And second of all, it hurts if I talk right now. The reason it hurts if I talk right now is that I I think I've talked about this before, but I think I'm going to go into deeper detail about this condition I have. Um, it's called status migraneus, status migraines. If you are a sufferer of any sort of migraines, you know I think there's like altogether there's 25 or 26 different kind of migraines. I can't remember off the top of my head, and they are ranked in severity. And I think the one that I have is a couple below pain level, like what brain cancer uh, people have. It's nasty. Basically, what it is, if you suffer from a migraine, migraines can last anywhere from a normal migraine can last anywhere from 2 hours to 6 hours. And basically, um, a regular migraine is like a migraine. It's like a headache on steroids. Everything hurts. Um, your hair can hurt. It can literally be blinding. I mean, you have to lay in a dark room with a cool rag over your eyes. Um, you can't stand to be touched, or the sunlight or any kind of light can just absolutely kill you. And just think of the intensity of that for like 2, 4, 6 hours. Okay, now, like I said, there are different kind of migraines. You can look them up. Um, go to a reputable place to so you don't get any kind of false information. But a few years ago, I was in a car accident with my children. Thank goodness my children escaped with just some bruising, some banging up. Um, I suffered um, a head injury. I had a very bad concussion. Of course, I was expecting headaches. The doctor told me to expect them, probably for several days, as much as a month or two. Well, a month or two came and went, and I was still having headaches, or so I thought. And at my 6 week checkup after I got out of the hospital, um, I did like, a day and then a week and then, 2 weeks. And then he said, well, come back in 6 weeks and we'll see how you're doing and we'll make sure, because I had, like I said, I had back concussion, and I kind of fractured, just a very hairline fracture, but like my eye socket, and but it was pretty bad. And so I keep having what I think is a string of headaches. But what got me um, so confused was everything else that was going along with the headaches. Um, I mean, I found out later they were called auras, and it's like flashy lights. I would see, like, how you look at the sun too long, you squeeze your eyes and you get the red flashy little things. I was seeing those in black and gold, and you know. Um, then I started noticing that smells were causing me problems. Just all kinds of just any kind of strange scent, strong perfume, just something would just and I'm thinking, oh great, I've got another headache. So finally, I go back to the doctor, and he's he's very suspicious. He's like, okay, something's not right. So he's doing more testing, and he confers with head trauma doctors in, Atlanta, Georgia, and, that deal with nothing but head traumas. And they finally diagnosed me with status migrainous, or migraneous, or whatever how you say it. It's status migraines. And he goes, Susie, he goes, you have not been having headaches. And I'm like, no, you need to trust me. No, he goes, you have had one continuous headache. And I want to tell you folks, my jaw dropped to the exam table. I couldn't even comprehend what he was talking about. I said, that's impossible. Nobody has a headache for 6 weeks. And he goes, well, you are. He goes, that's why I was so stumped. I couldn't understand. He goes, it's from the accident. I have no doubt. He goes, because you didn't have anything like this. I said, no, I've had migraines before, but I've never, maybe one a year, maybe, you know. And he goes, no, this is what this is. And he explained everything that I'm explaining to you. That the least I could hope for was a migraine that lasted for 72 hours. If I was lucky, that's how long one would last. And come to find out, I've had them. My longest one so far has been 8 weeks. And what this rant is about is trying to, and if you've got any kind of medical condition, it is hard to explain to somebody who has never had any kind of disability, because this can be very, disabilitating. It's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't suffer from anything how it can affect you. And it makes me angry that people can dismiss other people's pain with just a shrug, you know. And I'm not being mean about it. I'm just saying you can, because I was talking to somebody, I'm like, I think I got another headache coming on, because there's always signs. I always know when one's coming, and there are medicines that I can take, but after a while, it's like my body just adapts to them, and then we have to try something else. They just don't work anymore. And it gets very frustrating to try to explain to somebody the amount of pain you are in. And I mean, I've had people just look at me like, yeah, right, okay, well, take some aspirin, you'll be fine. Yeah, right. No headache can last for months. That's stupid. Come on. I'm not. And it just, and I watch this. I love watching different people talk about, not just weird conditions, but life, real life, and they talk about something, especially on YouTube. YouTube is becoming such just a pit stop of hate nowadays. It's ridiculous. You can't leave a comment on anything unless somebody just attacks you viciously. It's ridiculous. Especially some of these huge big channels that, I'm sure they don't have the time or the staff or whatever to at least kind of moderate their comment sections. And people are just vicious and mean and horrible. And it doesn't matter if they're, well, it's some 10-year-old kid, it doesn't matter. It's still hurtful and painful when you get just ripped to shreds. And people, people need to talk and tell somebody. What's the use of telling anybody? I'm telling this whole story to get to this point, actually. What's the use of telling anybody about a struggle or a pain when you're going to get that kind of negative reaction? Well, now, Susie, you have to consider the source. I am considering the source. And I'm here to tell you that this is probably why, a lot of people don't speak out. even now when more and more things are being accepted into mainstream life, you know, when I was growing up, to have somebody, and I'm talking about the 60s and 70s, and in early 80s, you know, because I graduated high school in 84. So, I was born in 66. I'm older probably than some of y'all's grandmothers. But my point is, people talk about all the progress we made, and I'm not, I see a little, but I don't see these leaps and bounds that other people are talking about, because all these issues, yeah, they're a lot more accepted. Well, they're a lot more known. I don't know if they're a lot more accepted, but it's just I guess my take on the world when I get one of these headaches. I tend to uh, I suffer from depression. So, and that's another thing that gets, I'm just in one of those moods today. I just want to rant about everything. So, but I don't know. I guess I'm just tired. And the headaches make me a little more aware of how tired I am of just hate, and stupidity, and just callous, just people that do not think before they open their mouths. I find it so, I don't know, ridiculous that people can still be so callous about things, and people do talk about, people acknowledge, a lot of people acknowledge, that things are bad, but things are better than they used to be. And being much older, I can sincerely say that. I mean, we're talking between some of us guys, there's a huge generation. There's a couple of generations, So, I can honestly say that over the 50 years, I'm 52, that I have seen some areas just, they have improved. In my mind, there's a much longer time to go, much more work that needs to be done, but it is a start. But some people just insist just on being in that small minority that just finds it more, I don't know, pleasurable to hurt other people and be nasty and mean and cruel. And I guess I told the headache story to represent, just in general, some of the painful things that people can have in their lives, and other people just dismiss it like it is absolutely nothing, you know. And if you do talk about it, my God, you're a whiner or a baby, or you're a complainer. You're trying to get attention, and it gets to the point of, you know what, man, I'm done. I am done talking to you. I am done. I mean, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't. Um, how can people just be so hateful? And I don't know. I tend to kind of dwell on things like this when I'm in one of these headaches, because um, they just, I don't know if I'm more depressed, or just I feel things more acutely when I'm going through a migraine. But that, I just, I made a comment on a video, I've talked about this before, and it just, I don't know, maybe it is because I'm older, and um, do older people, do you think they unfairly think that they not need, but are supposed to be allotted more respect? Is it an ethnicity thing? Because I'm from the South, and grew up, was raised old school. You respect your parents, you respect age, you respect your elders. I mean, that's, is that a thing that is just gone now? Um, I mean, what is it? Am I wrong to think that? Do I need to come into the next, what is it, century, decade, era? You know, does everybody deserve everybody's respect? Or am I alone in what I think? Um, but I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's the era I grew up in. Maybe it's the region I grew up in. Um, I don't know. You tell me. What are your thoughts about? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm ranting about today. I'm just rambling basically because my head's hurting so bad. But I don't know. It just I tend to kind of be in a darker mood. Some days, if I miss a couple of videos in the next few weeks, you will know why. There are some days that the headache will be, if you have a normal bad headache, that will be my light headache. If you ever had a normal migraine that lasts for 3 or 4 hours and you lay down with a sick stomach and the light bothers you and it feels like your head's splitting, and then about 4 hours later, 5 hours later, it starts to go away, that's what I consider a normal headache. Um, Not belittling any headache that anybody has, but just trying to give you a point of reference. Um, so if I do happen to have to skip a couple of videos, you will know why. It can be nasty. Also, if you keep up with Cronus, anything that he and I do together, you'll know that he's getting ready to go on vacation. There might be a couple of skipped episodes of something here and there until he gets back. We've tried to do some things in advance, but things happen and you can't. But yeah, if there's no live stream later today, Friday, you will know why. But yeah, it's just I don't know. Just the last couple of days, I knew one was coming on, and I like to keep up with the people I subscribe to and watch their videos, but it just gets very um, depressing when every time you make a comment about something, somebody has something rude and negative to say about it. Um, and I guess I just tend to notice it more when I'm in migraine cycle. um, but yeah, please understand that, I mean, I respect everybody's opinion and feeling, but do not, under any circumstances, think that I would ever allow something that, just rude, nasty, hurtful comments on my channel. It will not happen. I read every single comment, and I will block and take them down and report. I do not tolerate that kind of negativity and just malice and hate from people. I do not. So that's kind of my rant today. Sorry if it's a little weird, dark one. I try to keep these kind of, not personal, but this one certainly is because these headaches have affected me for a long time. And when I get one, it's nasty and brutal, and I can sometimes be nasty and brutal because of them. Not that that negates anything, but it's the way it is. So I have an assignment for you, and until we meet again, I want you to think about a friend or a family member and think of something that they have: migraines, arthritis, diverticulitis. That's a bad one. OCD, depression, something that somebody in your life that matters to you, they struggle with this thing, but you've never really thought about it. You just, oh well, that's, and you kind of group it generically with, oh, that, okay, they have that. Do a little research. Make sure it's a reputable site. Don't just get true facts, and delve a little deeper into what other people have to go through that you might just kind of dismiss. You know, you can tell I'm mispronouncing a lot of words. I'm sorry. That's part of the headache. But yeah, just take a few minutes and try to figure out where somebody's coming from. Okay, and then hopefully that will kind of broaden your horizons a little bit, and you can educate somebody next time you hear them being snarky and rude, and kind of poking fun nastily at somebody's condition. Hey man, wait a minute. You know what? Maybe you need to do a little homework. You can pay it forward a little bit. So I will talk to you guys next time. This is Mntdewmania, a kind of dark redneck rant, but just something I had to talk about. And I will talk to you next time here on Friday Redneck Rants, Season 7. And yeah, I'm so out of here. Bye, guys.